Hey, it's Jen, and I'm not wearing any makeup on my actual skin today. I have on eye makeup, a little gloss, but this is what my skin really looks like. You guys know I love my skincare, but in a month and a half, I am turning 40, and I have a little secret to tell you guys. The reason my skin still looks young is because of genetics, purely genetics, is what I would say if I were a complete and utter liar. In fact, I have been struggling with my skin since I was about 11 years old. Everything from pretty severe acne, fine lines, wrinkles, pores, too much oil, not enough oil, flaking of the skin, now sunspots and fine lines. I just feel like my skin has run the gamut, but I actually feel very good about where my skin is right now, and it's because no matter what I have gone through, I have done these specific steps. Look, I'm not trying to be here to say like we shouldn't age. I think that's a normal part of living as a human being, but I wanted to share with you 3 levels of anti-aging steps that are actually realistic to do and also non-invasive. What is the first thing you would think I would say to someone new to skincare if they want to know what they can do for anti-aging? You can probably guess it. It's gotta be sunscreen. Especially a lot of like my guy friends, I tell them, please, the best thing you can do if you want to look good for longer is to wear sunscreen every single day. I've loved this Isden sunscreen for the longest time because it feels like water on your skin. It doesn't mess up any of my makeup. It just looks and feels like nothing. Is such a great base if you're a makeup wearer, but it's also really great for your like husbands and boyfriends who hate the smell of sunscreen. They don't like it when sunscreen stings their eyes. And it also doesn't give me any breakouts because I'm extremely breakout prone, even now, even forever. So this is my top recommendation, but I've also been recently using this one, which is Biore UV Aqua Rich. This is actually a very much more affordable option. Also SPF 50, but the Asian style, it also has PA+++++. So really good UVA, UVB protection, dual protection. This one does pill up a little bit under makeup, so I love using it on days where I'm not using a ton of makeup. The next thing that I feel like made a significant difference in my skin, it's using a red light LED mask. So I wanted to thank iRestore for sending me this mask. They are the sponsor of this segment of the video. It's the Illumina LED face mask, and it's extra special because this one not only does it have a red light version that has red light LEDs plus infrared light. Red light and infrared light is really good for anti-aging, but it also has a blue light mode. Blue light is amazing if you have acne issues. It actually kills the acne bacteria. So there's a red light, blue light, and you can use it with both at the same time. This particular one has 360 LEDs. It's a really beautiful, high quality design. One of my favorite features is this little eye mask area. This is a really soft kind of material. When it's on your face, it actually blocks out a lot of that LED going into your eyes, so you can still do whatever you want. I've literally read books, done the dishes. It's quite comfortable and lightweight to wear. So if you're interested in checking out this mask, I'll put all the information in the info box down below. So level 1, beginner, easy peasy sunscreen every day. Level 2, I want to take you on a little journey, just a little backstory. I'll try to keep it pretty short and sweet, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of context of what I've gone through. So the year is early 2020. We all know the great difficulties that happened that year. I had a toddler plus a really little baby as well, and when I looked at my face in the mirror, I almost couldn't recognize myself because I had just gone through a year of breastfeeding. I had gone through all of the body changes that happen with having multiple children, and I feel like my skin literally accelerated aging by 10 years within 1 year. I almost couldn't recognize myself when I looked at pictures of myself because the wrinkling I had on this area of my face was actually so much more dramatic than it had just been a couple years earlier, and I was extremely self-conscious about it. In fact, it was hard to find pictures of myself at the time because I used a lot of filters just because I was so self-conscious. I don't want to be like over dramatic about it because it's like such a first world problem. I was taking care of my new babies, and I feel like a lot of people would have probably said like, oh, you should just be so grateful that your kids are healthy. But there was also a part of me that felt really sad and confused. It was such a stark change in my appearance. I thought to myself like, okay, I guess this is what I will be from here on forward. But spoiler alert, that's actually not the case, and my skin improved so much. This section, this mid-level section, is the most important out of all three of these sections from that level of aging that my skin had progressed to. It actually went backwards in time. So the first thing that I did as soon as I stopped breastfeeding is I went on tretinoin. And I've talked about retinol many times. If you want to see me talk about my entire long video, very informative, very detailed, showing about my own experience with retinol, I will link the video up there so you can check it out. This is the one I'm using right now, but this is a prescription product. Make sure you do a lot of research and get educated properly before just jumping full on into tretinoin. But this is something that has dramatically changed my relationship with my skin. I'm telling you, this is the one actually like skincare topical product that is going to make a huge difference, and I'm not exaggerating about this at all. If you're interested in that, I will link the video up above. I highly recommend you watch that as an entirely separate video because I cannot stress enough how much that changed my skin. Okay, level 3 of anti-aging things that I've personally done. This is getting into more of your in-office skin treatment. So I don't think I'm qualified to talk about all of the different things, so I'm only going to speak of the things that I've personally had done. The main things that I've had done are microneedling, usually like a wand that has needles that basically poke into your skin all over, but it stimulates your body to be like, hey, we need to heal. So it develops new collagen. And then I've also done lasers, so that might blast away the pigment layers so that you hopefully get more even, less redness, less dark spots. And it can also do things where it also stimulates your collagen. In that tier, we're talking about a significant increase in terms of price. Sunscreen, you're gonna max out at like $80 if you're getting a really expensive sunscreen. Tretinoin, especially if you're covered by insurance, it's really not going to exceed a $100 kind of product. The red light LEDs, to get a really high quality one, it's going to be in the hundreds of dollars. But then with the skin treatments, a single office visit might be like hundreds to $1,000. And that kind of takes multiple treatments sometimes to really see significant results. Microneedling, do I think it's worth it? Yes. I especially recommend using either microneedling with PRP, which is where they draw your blood, separate the plasma from your blood, and then they put it on your face. You're literally putting the healing stuff on your skin to help your skin heal. The second way I've had microneedling done is actually with exosomes, which is another substance that they put on your face the same kind of way, but they don't have to draw your blood for it. So if you have the means, I do think microneedling is a great option for the texture, overall youthfulness of your skin. The glow, the bounce, the firmness. That actually also helps with pitted scars, like actual physical permanent scarring on your cheeks from acne or other traumas. In addition to microneedling, another in-office treatment that is extremely popular are lasers. Sunspots, age spots, melasma, these things are extremely difficult to tackle with just over-the-counter products. However, I will say with a caveat, not all lasers will work for everyone. Really talk to the provider and ask them, this is my issue, what is the best thing for this? Just because a laser says it'll be good for like 5 different things doesn't mean that's the specialty for that particular laser. So in my experience, I've had a Moxie laser, and although I felt like that did an overall skin rejuvenation, it was actually very similar to microneedling. I had some overall youthfulness and texture help. However, I would not say that that is the first step I would do to tackle hyperpigmentation. I also recently did a BBL laser, and that was under the guidance of one of my dermatologists I've been seeing. We actually did a protocol of hydroquinone products beforehand to kind of prevent the rebound pigmentation that you can get, because it is sort of a heat-based laser. So if you're the kind of person that gets a significant amount of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, you might be a little bit wary of using that one, but under the guidance of the right provider, it can show significant results. I was actually also interested in getting PicoSure laser because I was thinking maybe some of my hyperpigmentation was melasma, which melasma is usually triggered by hormones. A lot of women get large masks of pregnancy, which is just like a large area of darkness, sometimes on their cheeks or forehead or upper lip. PicoSure is a laser that a lot of people go to see a difference in that because it has less heat. But in my particular case, my dermatologist said, let's try the BBL over the Pico because it can be more effective for your type of pigmentation. So look, I am not the expert. I am not the doctor. It's definitely a conversation you're going to want to have with your provider one-on-one for your specific skin. I'm going to say this as a little 3.5, just as a big old disclaimer. I think that a lot of the things people tend to go to when they hear anti-aging, especially InOffice, they think of Botox and they think of fillers. I am not against these procedures, but they are things that I have chosen not to do yet. So if you're going by my results, just know that those are not things that I have had in my system affecting how I appear. That's not to say I never would. I'm just sharing with you the things that I have personally done. Certain fillers on certain faces has kind of the opposite effect. They want it to make them look younger, and it actually is like quite aging. Do you think fillers make people look younger or older? So I don't know if you agree or disagree with me. Let me know in the comments because I'm so curious to know what other people feel about this. I'm someone who tends to go for more of a natural kind of look, but I know that's not everybody's jam. I hope this whole video was informative for you guys. If you found this helpful, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to subscribe if you want more skincare videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. I love you. Bye.